I always had a high opinion of Pootie Tang. Believe me, I know Pootie Tang, and this is not the Pootie Tang I thought I knew.
You know what? I thought a man of your stature would have better sense than to fall for no mess like that.
Check it out. The legend of Pootie Tang is that he's an actor, writer, singer, dancer, producer, director, cobbler, just all-around hood superhero. Check it out. What's it about? International superstar Pootie Tang has a new movie called Sign Your Pity on the run he can, where Pootie, as a ghetto superhero who's too cool for words, is comically fighting evil corporations that purposely targets poor consumers in the inner city, black people, with harmful products. And as the audience, along with Bob Costa, we get to preview a clip of Pootie's film. You could say Pootie Tang is a movie within a movie about a ghetto superstar that saves the day. Check it out. Characters.
I understand, though, you got a new movie coming out.
In Pootie Tang's film, Sign Your Pity on the Run He Can, the stars are
Truckee.
Truckee? Truckee is like the leader of Pootie's crew and has been Pootie's best friend since childhood. He's also the reason the corporation found out Pootie's weakness. Truckee is played by J.B. Smoove doing classic J.B. Smoove.
Bad Biddy.
Bad Biddy is the evilest drug supplier in the city. Just as bad as the corporation, Bad Biddy is willing to sell drugs to the youth, man. Him selling drugs to kids is what makes him ultimately evil.
Dirty D.
He's the dirtiest dude around and is the head henchman for the evil corporation. He's who does their dirty work, right? Dirty D is addicted to filth and his only weakness is soap and water. Imagine that. Dirty D's sidekick is Froggy. Froggy is like Dirty D's enforcer. And to me, he reminds me of someone from Usher's video.
Lacey, JB.
Lacey is part of Pootie Tang's crew as well, but is more like Slow Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy. He normally just frustrates JB by repeating whatever JB just said. If not, Lacey is just saying some off-the-wall nonsense. JB in the movie is played by Chris Rock. JB is Chris Rock's second character. But yeah, he's part of Pootie Tang's crew also. JB is like Pootie Tang's public relation manager. Here, he's go-to for exposition.
Biggie Shorty.
It starts off like a Greek chorus, narrating the tempo of scenes. Biggie Shorty is played by Wanda Sykes, going all the way in for this one. Biggie Shorty really cares about Pootie's best interest and wants to be his lover and partner. She's just waiting on her time. Before Pootie met the evil white lady, Biggie Shorty foreshadows Pootie's fate, telling him one day,
you gonna meet your match in a woman. And on that day, Pootie, I'm gonna be there.
And Robert Vaughn.
Robert Vaughn makes her appearance in this movie as well. In the movie Pootie Tang, he's playing himself. But in Pootie's movie, he's playing a character called Dick Lecter. Dick Lecter, as the head of the evil corporation, is upset with the positive effects of Pootie Tang's PSAs for kids. They're causing the corporation pain via loss in sales from corruptible goods such as bad food, nicotine, and liquor. Turns out, saving kids has an adverse effect on evil corporations. Who knew? Dave Attell as Frank is Dick Lecter's right-hand man. Irene right here is Dick Lecter's sad piece, Hoochie Mama Chickenhead. You see all that. As a white woman that close to power, she's one of the most dangerous people on earth, or at least in the movie. Beyond a temptress, she's a walking trap. Watch out for them traps, fellas. And check it out. Pootie Tang is not the hero we wanted or needed. He's the one we forgot we had that should be recognized as an official black superhero, straight up. Say what you will, but remember, Pootie Tang is a hero for the kids to look up to, encouraging them to be smart, eat vegetables, while also recommending they steer away from cigarettes, fast foods, and alcohol. A la, don't bang the dillies, equating to, don't do drugs. Pootie Tang as a movie is a guilty favorite that follows the cues of black exploitation films, anti-heroes, of the 1970s. Pootie was perhaps the perfect Avenger for a new millennium. Think about it. He was fighting corrupt corporations as a black superhero who couldn't be bought out nor compromised, refusing the corporation's money and white women. You gotta be strong to do that. Imagine his internal fortitude. You know, at first to silence Pootie, the evil corporation offered him $20 million to endorse corruptible goods and not speak against them. But Pootie's integrity wouldn't allow that. And check this out. Pootie was a feminine ally way before the Me Too movement. Pootie Tang has always been about valuing and protecting women, even slapping or checking his homie for disrespecting females. Did I mention how this movie is against slut shaming? With the example of Biggie Shorty, who's not some harlot. By the way, if you're keeping track, Chris Rock plays 4 roles here. As a DJ, as Pootie's friend JB, as Pootie's father, and for some reason, as a stalker corn. But yeah, for the most part, Sign Your Pity on the Runny Kind is the hero's journey of Pootie Tang. He goes on a quest, is slightly defeated, is spiritually reborn with new information, then comes back swinging for Lecter. But in the end, the good guys win, and the bad fast food has been kept away from the little kids of the ghetto, allowing them to grow up healthy. Check it out. Here we go. From birth, these were the lessons of Pootie Tang. Lesson. Even in grief, mind your manners.
Don't slip the soup in here, boy.
Lesson. As long as it's righteous, anybody ass can be whipped. But only if it's righteous.
As long as you got right on your side, you can whip anyone's ass with just that belt.
Lesson. Teach your kids right from wrong. Just that simple, just like Pootie's dad.
The difference between good and bad.
Lesson.
That's better.
You gotta have respect.
You got to have respect to get
It's a good lesson to put into your shorties right there.
I know
Lesson.
you love the ladies.
Don't let the ladies come between you and that belt. I mean, righteousness, you know, the
Don't
belt
let the
represented
ladies
righteousness,
come
you know.
between you and the belt.
Those were Daddy Tang's last words. Don't let the ladies come between you and the belt.
Lesson.
You tell me something.
What do you want to know?
Don't compromise yourself for a temporary good time. Lesson. Sometimes doing the right thing is painful.
Right those homies. My man Pootie Tang.
Lesson. Know that being unique and different is cool. From birth, Pootie was just different. Never choosing to talk like others, yet never having issues communicating. Be you, man. However you are. Check it out. When you see it, keep in mind that this movie is making fun of black exploitation films. That's the premise. If you know very little about those type of films, then some of this movie is going to go over your head. Like for starters, how blaxploitations were often written by white writers, who often would have characters who spoke like the writer imagined pimps did. This is why Pootie Tang speaks as he does. Most of his dialogue was written by Louis C.K. That's part of the joke that those of us that get it understand. Why you got me talking about Louis C.K.? You can tell he has an affinity for black culture with his empathetic approach in how Pootie Tang is written. For real. Although a parody of blaxploitation, you can feel the care taken on subjects of drugs, alcohol, and the corrosive effects of how we're being poisoned by fast food deserts. Not to mention fatty junk that are technically corporate sponsored vices. Like, that shit is like perfectly cool to do, to sell us poison. But yeah, just like that, with a simple movie like Pootie Tang, Louis C.K. and Chris Rock were able to show they really do understand how race and class structures intersect, and that improving conditions for some people means looking at the larger institutions. Something else that gets lost on audiences when they're watching Pootie Tang is that Pootie Tang's clip that he's showing Bob Costa is just that, a long movie clip, not actually the full movie, which may be why Robert Ebert suggested that this movie was maybe incomplete. This is why what we see as a preview with Bob Costa is certainly an amazing glimpse of what a movie like this could be. Truth be told, this movie is a drawn-out sketch put together in a way only somebody like Pootie would. Pootie Tang is not only faster than a speeding bullet, the strength of his black hair can deflect incoming projectiles. Pootie's weapon of choice is his trusty belt that he draws and reloops with skill and precision. But for real though, seriously, the reality of this movie is that corporations do target certain consumers more diabolically than others, not necessarily caring about the effects their products may have.
To you the children, to me the dollar signs.
For many corporations, they just see children and consumers. As customers and commodities, not as people, placing our communities in peril states. Just consider how we got food deserts. That's why Pootie Tang is a hero for the hood, because he's fighting corporations to warn our children and youth of the hazards to beware of, which in theory will prevent the next generation from being slaughtered or exploited. So yeah, it's looking like Pootie Tang is top 5 black heroes, dead or alive. Check it out. In closing, Pootie Tang is a character born from a sketch, much like Borat, Coneheads, or Wayne's World. If you took the film's underlying message on how black entertainers and social influencers are oftentimes targeted by companies and corporations to be used as tools to poison the masses. In a way, Pootie Tang is the black version of the most interesting man in the world, with his only weakness being hoes. Because whipping a hoe ass is a fetish for them. That's why and how, as a weapon for the evil corporation, Irene was able to bring all the smoke to Pootie Tang, making him sign away all his rights and likeness, becoming a shell of his former self. By no means is this an indictment on all corporations, but it's hard not to notice how many corporations, be them good or bad, attempt to devalue you to get you to sell out, then rebrand you and profit off the difference, which is unethical, but that's what makes them evil corporations. Their willingness to distribute poison or toxic products. Back to the film though. My only gripe with the film is I take issue anytime I see blackface unless it's being used accordingly, or at least practically. Here it sort of served the point of how far corporations would go to milk and exploit your image. So yeah, I guess I can let that slide. But stay woke. Overall, Pootie Tang gets the hood seal of approval from me. I'm Fox. This is Check It Out. Let me know any lessons I missed in the comments. As always, like, share, and subscribe so the big homie can survive, man. I'm low-key trying to turn this into a living, man. We can make something like real big with this channel, man, if y'all support it in the right way. I know I gotta just be more consistent in everything, but we gonna get something going with this, man. Check it out. Hood Reviews is an official black-owned business, man. Hitting that like is like the least expensive way you can show your support, man. Like, even if you bought it on the budget, you can still hit that like, man. Hit that like, or I'ma hit you in your... Nah, I ain't gonna hit you because you might be a female watching this, but... Anyway, hit that like, man. Quit playing. You see how much time I'm spending on telling you to do it, man. Do it. Why you ain't did it yet? And if you have done it, you know, my bad. To my hood figures out there with businesses, in the spirit of Claude Anderson, reach out if you like your product sponsored here, man. Help me help us practice hood economics, man. I want to grow that black dollar, man. We got to get that like ecosystem going, man. Make that black dollar bounce several times within our within our community and everything. Like, yeah, y'all know what I'm getting at. I'm building here, man. And before I go, these reviews are made possible with contributions from OGs and hood figures like you. Straight up, fam. Thank you. It's appreciated in a real way. If you like this channel and would love to see it grow, you too can support it, man. Hit that Patreon at Check It Out Hood Reviews, or take care of me on that Cash App, man, at $I am Fox, 2 X's, please. For real, fam. Whether you can or you can't. I appreciate you, man. You done listened to my voice up until this point, man. Question. Did Wanda Sykes dancing look like Julia Dreyfus? I think that's her name. Elaine from Seinfeld. Didn't that look like she was like doing the Elaine dance?
In a variety of fields, music.
It's time for that extra, fam. Either Pootie left for at least 90 days, or he has the same powers as Meteor Man to simulate that plant growth. Plants don't grow that fast, man. I'm just saying. Who y'all got? Pootie Tang versus Meteor Man. Who gonna win? Superhero trauma. The trauma of a bug bite gave us Spider-Man. Dead parents and falling into a cave gave us Batman. Not sparing the rod is what made Pootie Tang. Hey, that's low-key black trauma. Whooping your kids is low-key trauma. Choose wisely on that one, man. Pootie's so dope, he recorded a silent song that made it to like the top 10. No words, no beat, no sounds. Just vibrations and feelings, man. I was talking about Froggy as an enforcer for Dirty D. Y'all know that's Bodie from The Wire, right? Almost didn't recognize him, man.
Oh, this some fine dirt. This is some good dirt.
Some of y'all might be young and might not get the joke of Wanda Sykes playing the character of Biggie Shorty. Like, those that know that she's doing her little Kim rendition And Biggie Shorty, like Biggie Smalls Shorty, technically was Little Kim. So Wanda Sykes is doing an impression of Little Kim calling herself Biggie Shorty, if that makes sense. I hope I said that right in a sensible way. Anyway, yeah, Wanda Sykes as Little Kim is what we're looking at. True. To the people that don't get why Pootie Tang doesn't speak grammatically correct, I guess you're just forgetting how much communication is non-verbal, man. Anyway, appreciate you watching up until this point. Be cool. Take care of yourself. I'm Fox. I'm out, man.
Pootie Tang got 3 gold records. Pootie gets all the Grammys because he's Pootie Tang.
Yes, he's terrific.
I don't think he's so great.